웨딩 반지.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
아, 이런 거 캐내는 거 재밌다.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know.
뭐 무기들을 병해줘도 뭐 상관이 없지.
You keep.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since too long, I
이렇게
guess.
총들을 밀수해다니.
I bring sick people here night and day.
It sounds like things have been a bit...
Yesterday I got attacked by the...
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary
새로 조사할 곳이
situation in this
있군요.
vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous.
그러니까 두고 나왔다는 거기를 내가 조사할 수 있네.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
건강하시군요.
Goodbye, Milton.
오, 사람이 엄청 많다 여기.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, sir.
괜찮으세요? 나 폴아웃 부을 생각났어.
No.
얼굴이 완전.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken
화상 엄청 당하신 것 같죠?
War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off.
독일군이.
But they still call me Thomas
그게
Elwood.
1차 세계대전 배경인가 본데? 주인공도 군의관으로 참전했던 거 보면은.
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely
딱
why
전쟁이
you're a
끝난
patient
직후인 것
here?
같아요.
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't.
내가 뭐 해줄 수 있는 거
Can I
있나?
do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect.
아, 약을 줬는데도 효과가 없어?
Who is treating you?
누가 널
Is someone in
치료해주고
particular?
있어?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or
특히 뭐 방도가 없구나.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
괜찮으신가 보네?
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
아,
No
군대에
offense.
대해서는 이야기하고 싶지
I was
않구나.
pushing too much. I served in France myself.
아, 프랑스
I just wanted to
그쪽에
know what happened to
참전했다고.
you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe this?
이게 또 뻔한 내용이지.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you.
전염병도
But what
걱정이
if
되고.
this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry.
잘 해낼 수 있어. 정신 차려.
No one has
걱정하지
any
마.
idea when this epidemic will be over.
그래, 에피데믹 잘 끝날 거야.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long
그래서
enough to
얼마나
see that the
일했니?
epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse
의사치곤
Brannigan.
인상 아주 무섭네, 이제 보니까.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
오.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask
밀턴이
him.
의사를 싫어해.
But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
햄턴 여기 있다. 깨끗한 침대 주라고 했는데 깨끗한 침대는
How do you
아니네.
feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
당신 영웅이거나
You
멍청이군요.
dared to enter this awful
거기서
place
죽을
alone.
뻔했잖아.
You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
미스 허크로프트처럼 갑자기 바뀌었다고?
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle.
아,
I
그
met him
바텐더
before
알아?
I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Corruption?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since
대체
Clay
그
Cox went missing,
갱들은
it's his wife Edwina who
뭐야?
runs the show. With the assistance of
클레이 코스는 내가 잡아버렸는데. 아, 갱 단원들이 있구만.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. You know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually.
지쳤구만.
William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel
윌리엄이
empty.
피를 엄청 마셨어.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
안타깝구만. 그 여자는 이미
Goodbye,
죽었을
Mr.
거라고.
Hampton. We'll talk again later.
백야드 가든.
Daily routine.
뭐야? 프리벤트 디지즈 질병을 예방하세요. 공공장소에서 기침하지 마세요. 맞아, 기침할 거면 정말 마스크를 끼십시오. 하스피탈 풀. 헐.
I'm sorry you ended up.
병원 꽉 차서 집에 가라니.
It's locked, all right.
하나는 막혔네. 긴 편지 이거 뭐야? Hello sis. 뭐야? 호킨스 힌트가 열렸네. 의사가 또 있군요.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
좀 젊은 의사인데?
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr.
이름 왜 이렇게
Reed.
어려워?
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work.
작년 여름에 처음
We're not smiling now.
나오고.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no,
공포품이
Dr. Reed. But if
도착을 안
you
하고
went personally to his shop,
난리가 났구만.
what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
그걸 찾아줘야겠네.
Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
What can you...
Well,
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly.
대체 무슨
I'm
불법적인 한
convinced
거야?
your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Tell me more about your willingness to...
Harvey,
What is it?
fair question.
This personal involvement...
I agree.
Do you think...
All I know is that...
Goodbye, Doctor.
의사 엄청 많네.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you?
Let us just say that I don't...
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital.
I know we've... Do you need my assistance?
Not at all.
다들 건강하시군.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd,
나랑 뭐
please
문제
feel
있어?
free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed...
I know. Aren't you too
질투하지
old for
마세요.
such jealousy?
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed.
Since you're
Let's just...
careless,
We're here...
I don't...
Modern...
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir,
스트릭랜드가
is unethical.
납다고
Are you
생각하네.
thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too
conservative.
And are you not afraid that your
rivalry?
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you—
And what exactly?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
넌 다 많은 사람들 살렸는데
My
자꾸
blood
부정적으로
transfusion
보는 거야.
technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your
군의관으로 뭐 안 좋은 일
I
있었니?
refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
피딕.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see.
이미 괴롭히고 있다고?
Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about it.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed.
I was more curious about
팔이
what
많이
you were doing
다쳤나
before
보군요.
being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter. And a good one, too.
Are you...
Well,
I won't...
Are you sure?
In other... Tell me about the doc...
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride
둘이 싸우고
there.
있구만. 뭐 수술을 하자 아니다 이런 식으로.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals.
왜?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My
거기에
wife died
죄책감을
because of
느끼는
me.
거야.
And now I may
자기
lose
아내가
everything because I've been careless
자기 때문에
enough to hurt
죽었다고?
myself. What an arsehole.
너 때문에 죽은 거야?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself.
자해한 거였어?
But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, doctor.
자해한 게 아니라 그 뭔가 폭탄이 터진 그거 때문에 다친 건가 보구나.
Tell me more about the death of
1915. I was in the army.
군인이었군요.
What happened?
실수.
I'm sorry for your
스킵해버렸네.
loss. So many
I would like to say that she didn't suffer.
How are your children after losing?
They were smaller then.
Is there anything else?
I'm all right.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
왜 이렇게 사람 많아?
Good evening. I'm Dr.
No, I don't want to talk. My
No.
throat hurts too much.
말하고 싶지
I
않대요.
suppose that
목을
this pain
다치셨구나.
is the reason you're.
Yes,
Could you at least tell me your names?
Mortimer.
Mortimer
Goswick.
고스윅.
How painful is your throat?
So painful I'd rather not talk.
I'll let you get.
Good evening, sir.
Good
아니야,
evening.
대화를 좀 더 하자.
How painful. I'm sure you realize a doctor.
또
I see.
대화를 해야 돼. 얼마나
How
아파?
painful is
So painful I'd rather.
대화 더 할 게 없네.
Tell me about you.
I don't want to talk.
Do you
정말
need
말하기
any
싫나
help?
봐.
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
약을 줄 수 있네? 근데 약이 없어.
I will
미안해.
see.
아, 약을 줘서 내가 고쳐줄 수 있구나. 그러면 나와 대화를 하겠지?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
베아트리스.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
베아트리스?
How can I
베아트리체?
help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer
베아트리스
Goswick.
고스. 아, 모티머의 엄마구나.
I've heard much of your...
아, 이거 고쳐주고 싶은데 약이 없어서.
Not much to say.
Are you really that rich?
부자세요?
May I ask if you...
I'm a teacher by profession.
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservation.
Is there something in particular that's...
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
에피데믹에 대한 언급이라고?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the
입원시켰다고.
situation.
입원시켜서 뭐
I share your
의문점이 뭔가
concern,
있나
Mrs.
본데?
Goswick.
I don't expect.
Do you require med...
I have other concerns right now.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening.
Good evening.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
아, 이 병원을 떠나길 원하는 거야? 아, 아까 그 편지에 뭔가 있었죠?
You should be proud of what you've achieved.
Maybe you're right.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
Mortal?
Nothing but dust.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency?
약간...
Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed.
내가 모탈이면 그쪽 이모탈이세요?
I'm a vampire.
뱀파이어라고요?
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
피를 필요로 하시네.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
뱀파이어라고
It is what
믿으세요.
I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please.
뭘 느끼는지 설명해 주세요.
Describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard.
줄 코타트라는
are delusional.
사람한테 나온 언어라고?
That they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case,
아,
a
막
vampire.
자기가 막 귀신이다 뭐다 이렇게 믿는 그런 거.
You can't even begin to understand
이게 뭐
the concept
코타드
of
신드롬인가 보군요.
And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here.
It's only a cover.
Who are these enemies you met?
제 적들이 누군데?
But
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the doctor.
I see. Don't worry.
Thank you, mortal.
Long target. New investigation.